Hey y'all, Happy New Year. It is 2023 and it's a rainy day here in Georgia. In fact, the rain hasn't quite started, but we're under a tornado watch. So it's just gonna be a great day to have some soup. And since I had a lot of leftovers from New Year's Day, I'm going to make leftover pot liquor soup. So I had made a lot of collards and I have the pot liquor left over from the collards. That's the juice that the collards cooked in, which was basically a lot of chicken broth and and then the collard flavoring in there. So I've got a pretty good bit of that left over here, and then I'll be adding some regular chicken broth to that. I had quite a few quite a few black-eyed peas left over, so I'll use some of those in this soup. And then I had some collards left over, which I'm going to use. And then I'm going to add some other things in too. So to start with, the first thing I'm going to do is take my big pot over here, and I'm going to chop up this onion and get it sauteing in a little bit of olive oil. And then I'll get right back with you. Okay, that onion is pretty almost done. So I'm going to go ahead now and add 2 teaspoons of garlic. This is just minced garlic. Add some really good flavor there. I love a good flavorful soup. Okay. Brown your garlic. You just want to get that aroma going, and then we can start adding in the other ingredients. So I don't know if you've ever cooked black-eyed peas, the dried peas, but usually it makes kind of a thick liquid in there. And so I took about a cup worth of peas and drained them in this draining cup here. So if you don't have fresh, where you did them yourself, your dried peas that you did yourself, you can buy a can, just a regular size can, and there'll be about a cup of peas in the can. So, but just remember to drain them so that you don't get all that thick liquid in there. So I've just tossed those in the pot. And now I'm going to add a pot liquor, which if you didn't have pot liquor, by the time you cook some collards, if you haven't made your collards yet, when you add your collards, it will make some pot liquor, and then you'll put about 8 or 9 cups of chicken broth. But I'm using this. This is the pot liquor left over from when I cooked the collards, and then I'm going to add in more chicken broth, so that altogether there'll be about 8 cups. So it makes a good big pot of soup here. Put this in here, and then we're going to add in some tomatoes. And I would say use one of those really big cans. I think it's like a 28-ounce can of diced tomatoes. And then I add one of the regular cans of the original Rotel tomatoes and chilies, just so it adds a little bit more flavor. And Bob likes things that have a little bit of a kick to them, and that would just be a little bit of a kick because this is such a big pot of chili here. So let me get the tomatoes in here, and then I'll get right back with you. All right, I got my tomatoes in here, the Rotel and the regular diced petite. So now I'm going to take these collards, and I want to make sure that they're cut up in really little pieces. So I'm going to just use my kitchen shears and just chop them into small pieces. And there is some ham in with these collards, and I'm probably going to add some more ham. I just don't have it yet because Bob's gone to the store and he will be bringing that ham home to me. But And so that'll be the last thing I add into the soup. But these collards are mostly already cut pretty small. I don't like it, get a big old chunk of big piece of collard. I like them in small enough pieces that they fit on the fork nice. But this case, they'll be fitting on the spoon nice. So anyhow, I'll get about 2 cups, maybe 3, chopped up and put in here. I don't want to overwhelm it with collards. I want it to be like a real soup. But probably at least half of these collards will wind up going in there. If you had to buy collards from the frozen section, I think you can buy like a 16-ounce package, and that should be plenty of collards if you need to do it that way. So I'll get back with you. Hey y'all, I'm back. I've got the collards in here now. I used about 3 cups of cooked collards in here, and y'all, it looks great. Let me get you over here where you can see it better. So you can see there's a few, there's some peas in there, but mostly it's just liquid and collards and tomatoes, and y'all, it really, I took a little taste earlier and it was delicious. So I know Bob's, he's on his way back home now, and he's bringing me a slice of smoked ham, and I'll just chop that up and add it into it. And that's it, it's done. So you can either add the ham or not. It really tastes pretty good, very good actually, without the ham. And maybe that's because when I cooked my collards, I had ham in my collards too. But y'all, that is really tasty. I may add a little more salt and pepper to it, but doesn't need a lot because I had salted and peppered the peas and the collards when I cooked them. So, like I said, you can either do this using canned vegetables, or if you've got leftovers. I call it my New Year's Day leftover soup. But anyhow, I hope y'all enjoy it. Please subscribe. I'm 1,000 subscribers now, and I need to keep growing, so I sure would appreciate it. And I also don't want you to miss out on the next thing I'm going to be making. So I'm going to use up these black-eyed peas. You just watch. None of them are going to go to waste.